New York City, my birth city, is hard to beat. It has everything from glitz to gore and will feed you well, in stomach and in spirit. There is no city as cool as New York. Except for New Orleans. New Orleans, or Norlands, or NOLA, doesn't care what you call it. The city doesn't know it's on Earth, yet its connection to humanity from gutter to steeple is unlike any other.
Hi!
It's max cool. There's something unique about NOLA's beauty, both rough and gentle like satin-covered sandpaper, somehow vulgar in a very polite way. The streets here are lined with salty dreamers who wear their passions on their sleeve, spilling it on cheap folding tables for wanderers to consume. It's a city where there's no such thing as an inanimate object. Spirits here permeate every aspect of life. I consider this a truly American city, where America refers to its namesake, Amerigo Vespucci, who upon reaching the correctly identified new continent, quotes, "The victor here eats their vanquished, and the women are intensely desirable. Being very lustful, they cause the private parts of their husbands to swell up to such a huge size that they appear deformed and disgusting." That's the feeling I get from this city. What NOLA loves. NOLA loves gas lamps. NOLA also loves molding. NOLA really loves being covered in patina. NOLA loves all sizes. From the grandiose to the two-step manor, to the one-step railroad, to the tiny bywater shack too adorable not to sigh a smile at. But perhaps what NOLA loves best is a good party. A party to New Orleans is more than just a good time. It's a hall pass from bullshit, where who you really are, is all you're allowed to show, and smiles become the only currency you need to buy a good time. In NOLA, you quickly find yourself forging ahead with two best friends, into the streets seamlessly becoming part of the fanatic fabric of festival. Without effort, you are now part of the parade, among the fellow freaks and fantasy folk, who seem to be there not only to entertain each other, but themselves. The streets are a river of color and shimmer where spectacle takes on a new meaning that forever removes it from your daily vocabulary. Here there is no wrong, or off color, or incorrect. Just the perfect marriage of fantasy working in reality. These are not costumes like they are in other cities and other festivals. These are expressions, deep and obtuse, whose meanings shift throughout the day, depending on how much you've seen or how long you've been on mushrooms. And while it all may seem fractured and without curation, there is one common line that connects the madness. A bass line. A second line. A line of music that rumbles through the city, overlapping, fading in and fading out, driving forward and igniting movement. From the streets to the roof, it chases you through the city relentlessly. No city celebrates inebriation like New Orleans. They have perfected the art of imbibing, and have found ways to reinvent the act of getting shit-faced 1,000 times over. The city is a giant house party. Living rooms become street corners, and kitchens become oil barrel barbecue-lined sidewalks. It's BYOB, and no one's parents are home. Bourbon Street may be the sluttiest street in the world. It doesn't care who you are, you're getting in its pants. An aroused army of revelers storm the streets, looting beads from every balcony, every perch, every outcropping. Here you see things you simply can't explain, both comic and tragic in an Orwellian way. Here spirits run free, and there is dancing and magic everywhere, where even dropped fish bowls of booze somehow don't spill. Pure sorcery. Then there are the parades. Flotillas of frenzy that slice through neighborhoods, flooding the streets with the echo of stomping boots and screaming brass as you trip the light fantastic. The quarter bell tolls, and it's time to switch up the scene. So you descend down Frenchmen to familiar caves, filled with some of the best damn music you've ever heard. When that tires, you head over to One-Eyed Jack's, and perhaps fortune favors you by witnessing the legendary Quintron and Miss Pussycat break off a piece which sets off the dance floor stupid crazy. And when you need to bring it down a notch, you mosey over to Saturn Bar to sing some sea shanties with the Valparaiso Men's Choir and whoever's left standing in the bywater. Finally, when that quiets down, you take it back to the beginning. Back to the streets. The cloak of night's darkness is pierced by LED lights and sulfur street lamps, which guide the funeral procession to the party's final resting place. Along the tracks and down cobbled streets, everyone dances the festival to the last stretches of town, clamoring and hugging lost friends found along the way. Finally, reaching the levee, the frenzy ignites its primitive roots in effigy as you stand humbled. You have now been up for 24 hours. Many emotions, drugs, and experiences have passed through you, and you find yourself in a Fellini film, walking the crest of a levee in the purgatory of the party. Nothing makes sense, which makes perfect sense. The movable feast begins to roll like a magnetized ferrous fluid, and collecting under a broken warehouse canopy, you are presented a puppet show. It's both callow and complex, much like this strange time in this beautiful, unique experience, which is simply called New Orleans. Thanks for watching, everyone. New Orleans is one of the cities most hard hit, besides New York, two places very close to my heart. This was written as a travel piece for Get Lost magazine that I put some footage that I shot while I was down there for Mardi Gras. Seeing these many people together make me really remember how much the world has changed and how much people are suffering out there. So be kind to each other, try to help everyone out, and let's stay strong. And thanks, New Orleans, for just being amazing.